Recording. Can someone make some noise so I can see if this is working? Okay, not yet.
More noise?
Works. Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Got everyone. Sweet. So we're rolling, and looks like we've got everyone here. So we can, I guess, jump into things. So, follow up from last week, or some of the items on the to-do list were related to the Miro board and the looking into the IM tech if you have time, or if you had time. I noticed that there wasn't a ton of activity on the Miro board. So maybe I guess, does anybody have any feedback about that? Was it just like a time thing, kind of forgot to do it, or is the process, I mean, even like, I am not, it's a hard process to get into. It's like really, there's no real rules or direction. It's just kind of like all conceptual things, and you have to like get really creative. So it's kind of like unclear what to do. But yeah, I guess, is it unclear, and should we work on refining that task a little bit more, or was it just kind of a timing thing that people weren't able to get into the Miro board?
Personally,
Actually,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead. Well, personally, for me, it was a time issue because I also had like 3 other micro boards I had to go through.
Yeah.
And then I concentrated on the IAM and the actual minimum viable infrastructure, and going through that.
Cool.
Because
Yeah, that's helpful
yeah.
too then.
Mhm.
I was going to ask where I can find this Miro board.
I
actually didn't see it.
Great question. I can send the link to the, let's see, I have the Notion up somewhere. So yeah, we're kind of working out of I guess we're not really working out of the Notion page necessarily. We're kind of working out of the Miro board too, but the Miro board's linked in the Notion, I think.
Oh god, I have the Notion.
Actually,
the one from last time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a link in the Notion somewhere to profiles and motivations of stakeholders, and the link for the Miro is in there. But I can also.
I got it. Thanks. Yeah.
Resend it. Yeah. Cool. But yeah, then Jake, I mean, that's going to be super helpful to have some background on the IAM tech. I tried to look into it a bit myself, and am still not super clear how it works. I have some questions, which I guess is the point. But yeah, I'll be curious to hear what you thought about it too. Did anybody else have comments? Yeah, Angela?
Yeah, I just wanted to add on the Miro thing. So for me, maybe I'm special, to be discussed. For me, it's hard to make time over the week to work on this. So I would actually prefer a little bit like we did it with Danilo in the research groups. Let's block the Friday. We can expand a little bit, maybe to 90 minutes, and then know, okay, we hack on it together in these 90 minutes. And then for the rest of the week, we can almost, or we can deal with other stuff, since I would expect that probably you'll have a lot to do. This would be an alternative to, align and then work asynchronously on things. I mean, just for this step now, defining the MVP. I also think maybe it would be good to have a brief 10 minutes update on what happened, because I wasn't able to join the marketplace call yesterday. We have some news with TE fundamentals. So just to not lose the context, because this MVP should be infrastructure that is tied to cases. And so we also have to keep in mind what are the cases and so on.
Yeah.
So if that's okay.
Yeah, I think that would be great. Phil and I can give an update on the marketplace design if you want to chime in on the TE Academy topic. I forget what he said.
I will. Okay, you first.
All right, deal. Phil?
Was interesting discussion. So Peter and I were there, and Sean and Griff, and another person, which I forgot.
Olivia.
Olivia over there, right? So we basically, what we came up like, we need to do way more market research about companies, or like talk to more companies which provide token engineering services at the moment, and then like work from there. What is our value position as a marketplace? What can we offer? And we also noted some stuff down here. For example, that the market is inefficient at the moment. Marketplace, we could make an overview over the prices, and we can reach fair pricing, and also really connect like token engineers with projects they're fascinated about or they're passionate about. So matching. Yep.
Yeah, I think one of the other points that came up that overlaps with this work, I think they are like two slightly different ends of like the MVP. You have like the service marketplace, which connects clients and token engineers, and then you have this like academic, the infrastructure for content and the academic related content, which is more like the connection or the bridge between the token engineers and the education side. But the piece that overlaps in the middle that came up yesterday is related to reputation and how token engineers would have reputation in the marketplace. And part of that could be with Skillforest technology, basically. So NFTs representing their experience and knowledge, which would obviously help clients, help the interaction between clients and token engineers. And so that topic is for sure has overlap with this theme. We didn't really like get into much of it other than reputation is really important.
And one more thing.
Yeah, go.
Was like the incentivization of open source and closed source token engineering. So how to incentivize people to upload their bodies so other one can use them later on in another project. And that's probably where IAM comes, or could come into play, or comes into play.
Yeah, super
definitely.
Cool. I think this is you highlighted pretty well. We have the overlaps where this comes nicely together, and also where we can optimize towards commons, right, with open source, and also then with sharing knowledge and building on each other's work. And I think there are maybe one or two more overlaps, but it's good to have keep them in mind for the MVP. And then there's the second element of, there's IMM with NFTs and their protocol. There's Skillforest. And then Jess mentioned another initiative/tool, and I can't remember the name. Natalia, do you? For the accounting thing, whenever DAOs collaborate or people are collaborating on projects and having this multi-sig wallets and the accounting part.
Is it the inverse proposal mechanism?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we did that topic came up too, but we didn't go too much into it. But yeah.
Okay. So you have obviously heard about it. I don't have any details here, but it should be on our list with, okay, here might be a link. Because again, if we think about, this is on the services as well as the education research side, we want to encourage people to come together and work together project-wise and gather around a particular topic. How can you make it low barrier and smooth accounting and distribution of funds? This is also, I think, something that matters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So are you saying like the overlap with on the inverted proposal mechanism is basically that research is also kind of a service? So it's like education and it's education and service, kind of.
Research requires accounting of contributions. This is in the first place. We want to encourage people and reward people for contributing to research, and we want to like the layers, right? We have people who are learning, the students. We have people who are mentors. They are supporting, enabling. We have facilitators, and we have the knowledge creators. And at least the facilitators, mentors, students are part of research projects, education projects that need accounting. And we want to have a good flow, like the value flow plumbing. We want to have a good flow of rewards, and also down to the, if this makes sense, down to the original knowledge creator. And this is then, I don't know, I don't have the full picture on the inverted proposal thing and what's included here and what's not included. Just this accounting, multi-sig wallets, distributing fund, just ring the bell. And I thought, okay, we should make sure to have an understanding here and to see how this fits.
Cool. Yeah, I'll add that in here to the Notion so we don't forget.
Maybe one action item we agreed in the end that we look at Gitcoin, the crypto coin list, a crypto job list, and like marketplace like this, what we can learn from them.
Cool. And is this service or anything else added? Anything missing or questioned here? Otherwise, I'd report from the T fundamentals.
I think that's pretty much it. Just market research to go.
Cool. Okay, I'd like to share things that happens around TE fundamentals. So I think I've mentioned that we want to create from the TE Academy, we want to create this fundamental body of knowledge for token engineering as far as we have it today. And I'm in touch at the moment, first with Trent and Sargem, since they have been, I'd say, most influential in creating this body of knowledge. And we've discussed how we can shape let's say, I call this first bachelor program, just to have this mental model of, okay, this is fundamental knowledge that we should all have in common, and where we then can build on with advanced classes, courses, a research group. And next step will be have a 90% collection of all the available material, be it papers, articles, videos, and then create 3 to 4 modules from there. And this is in the making at the moment. We haven't spinned up a working group here, but this has to be done, since this will be also something where we need both contributions as well as funding. And the reason, or how this is linked to the MVP, is, of course, here we would create the full flow of value, or there's a chance, this is a great case to create the full flow of value from the original knowledge creators let's say Sargam, up to the facilitators who are creating then an online course or an ebook, whatever it might be. This is the next layer. 2, mentors hosting sessions to learn collaboratively in the community, or another format to do it in the community, and then the final students who then get a certificate, Skill Forest link, and here this would be just a great case to get these values flowing and see what we can do, what infrastructure we need, and then have a first test where we can have the data and can get the tokens flow.
Yeah, awesome. And so, what stage is that? What stage is that like process at? I know a lot of original content has been created. Plenty more to come, but there is a lot of foundational stuff right now. Is the curriculum being developed? So like facilitators are kind of like in the process of consolidating the curriculum that eventually teachers will teach to students, or is the curriculum, I guess, which stage is it at?
Yeah, I'm happy to share more. So we are at the moment goal is to avoid content creation at this point dedicated to TE fundamentals whenever we can, just to be faster. So we won't rewrite content. We just take what's there and create this current state of TE fundamentals. Then what next step is digest the content and define the content, and only from there define the format. So should it be an online course? Should it be an ebook? Should it be a printed book? Should it be whatever? And this, there are some criteria to look at, and this is then the next step, and then link it with the MVP to see who should be rewarded. How? Is it about reputation? Is it about funds? Is it about CSTK tokens, NVPs, NFTs? Sorry. And this is then the next step. Yeah.
Cool. Actually, that was very related to one question that I had about the the IM tech, which I guess I'll bring up now just because we're talking about it, but we can go into the tech more later. But what exactly, in our use case, what exactly would it be that we are, what is the content that we would want to build the value flow piping around? Would it be like an ebook like you're describing, which is used in the course, or it's that's consolidated by facilitators and then used in the Fundaments course? Or would it be the certificate of completion, or like the NFT that students earn by completing the course? Because that NFT isn't really content, it's more like represents knowledge.
Exactly. Good question. This is something I would also love to have a better understanding of. In my picture, it would be the original article would be NFT-ified, and then there are policies for value flows, like, okay, whenever this article is used in a course, the creator of the article earns rewards and the course facilitator earns rewards. And then it is still additionally linked to the certificate, but you are absolutely right. There are a range of flows, and needs either we should have a clear picture. Is this what is exactly flowing, and from where to where? Sounds like a stock and flow diagram.
Indeed.
One thing maybe also think about is the outcome of the course. Like, I'm going back to the Ocean Study Group, where we learned a lot, but like to have like a tangible outcome, like a case study report or something, which could be then tokenized again and given to other students. So
You're right. Every single video actually could be tokenized and made accessible to others. And whenever others are using this, we can then this adds to the impact of a certain course recording. So this is, you can do this over and over again. I mean, maybe since this is an MVP, we need to set boundaries. But in general, I agree. Or also particular repositories for models.
yeah, again, the job would be then again the job of the knowledge facilitator to watch the videos and go through all the docs and then create something more dense, shorter to consume.
This is part of the job of a facilitator, right? So in a way, you have all the iterations around, okay, there's material, facilitators combine or offer, make it accessible, students learn on it, and create new results that are then available for, so a student might become at the moment, somebody's combining or remixing or adding to it, becomes a facilitator in a way too, or even a knowledge creator.
Yeah. Cool.
But there's nothing like this out there already, or nothing we could have a look at.
I mean,
I didn't find any docs. Sorry, I think I have a lag. I'm just.
I have a background question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
In the ecosystem value flows workshop or course, do you go over benchmark or examples of projects, frameworks, groups that are doing research on this or that are creating tech around similarly to IAM? So just basically having an idea of people that are working on this now, or yeah, anything similar. I don't know if it's a clear question either.
I think I know what you mean, but you don't have a picture of what's the load of content we are trying to cover in ecosystem value flows, and we don't have we don't do it. And actually, I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere is working on something like that, and I just didn't stumble upon it. Mm-hmm. But I think we will come across these projects in the course of setting up this MVP. So,
guys, yesterday speaking with Sean, he talked about having a lot of interest and making a proposal to the TEC for actually doing this and building and designing the system value flow with LTF.
Awesome. Yeah, this is exactly what we should do.
Yeah, he was really excited about it.
Cool. Yeah.
Is this Q Forest also doing something similar? I think it is, right? With the IAM.
Do you know if they already collaborate with IAM?
I don't think so. I didn't read anything about it in the chat, but it's worth asking, I think.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. But there are many, I would say probably not even overlaps, but rather it's complementary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I would think too. Because, yeah, like Skill Forest would, it would say you'd earn an NFT or certificate for completing a course, but that isn't really content. It's not like digital content. The fact that you completed the course, it's more just like, yeah, a fact. And so that's, I think maybe because it's not digital content, then that's not something that would be captured by the IAM protocol, but it's the same serves the same purpose as tracking content. I think it's like the same style of like, what knowledge does this person have or have they contributed to?
In a way.
Yeah.
And of course, we can have a different or an additional value flows saying, okay, this is a certificate that is related to a particular module and knowledge, which is built on a set of articles. And whenever somebody earns a certificate, the impact of this article increases or grows. So we can have the signal of information to, okay, this is obviously a very important piece, and that way increase reputation of the article or increase rewards or whatever. But there is this, if we have this triangle with the students on top and the knowledge creators at the bottom, so this tiny portion, tiny number of people, then we have these flows downwards in terms of impact. The more people earn a certificate related to particular knowledge, the more impact this knowledge has gathered. Does that make sense?
Yeah. The signaling was another topic that the IAM protocol was getting at. I forget what they called it in there though.
Hey guys, I know I'm jumping in super late. Hello.
Hello.
Morning. I just want to add, in case anyone in this group is not aware, that there has been this kind of some work in regards to skill trees or skill attestation in this group that Zargum kind of summoned and I helped to gather. There's a little NFT skill trees group and discussion that's been going on with Andre from Deepwork. So there is a little bit of documentation and some work that was done during a hackathon, the metagame hackathon, on this. And I think Sean also had sketched out a few things in regards to these like NFT certificates, and there's some like ideas of exactly what you're talking about, Angela, of kind of how to put what articles or what things would people have had to have read or courses to be certified. So I can share those links. There hasn't been too much work, but a little bit of sketching in case that's helpful.
Yeah, this is awesome because we just were discussing there is something, but we don't know exactly what it is, where it is. Thanks.
Sure, I'll throw it in the channel, in the labs channel.
Cool.
Yeah, I just asked the question there in the chat a minute before you jumped.
Yeah.
Livia, you summoned Jess to this call. Okay.
I'm summoning my breakfast right now, but I wanted to just I was having a sync with Tam, and then I was like, oh, I want to hear what's going on over here.
I see. Okay, so these are the overlaps. Now, I think this is all great to step by step define the scope of the MVP project and also what could be next steps. And this is just cool. I think what should we do with the last 25 minutes? We have a call on Monday with Tanner, and maybe it's a good idea to today talk about the questions we want to discuss with him instead of digging into the motivations and the Miro board. What do you think, everyone?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay. And Peter, are you taking it down, the questions? Because that helps for sure for the meeting.
I'll share my screen. So, can you guys see that? Yeah. Yeah, so I have these notes in the meeting minutes, but I also have this. There's one page from the Notion. So this is like the main Notion. Oh, my internet got slow. this is the main notion for this topic, but then there's this page for the IM NFT value flows. And yeah, I just started adding some notes on my like tech deep dive and a few questions that I have. So maybe we can just start here. So, and Jake would be awesome this is perfect for the digging that you did into the IM Tech too. So yeah, one of the questions that I have, maybe just to start getting other people's brains moving, was for this case, for this MVP, what type of content would we tokenize? And I kind of asked that earlier, so we obviously have an idea, and be interesting to see what Tanner thinks about that. The other question that I had is, who owns the content or the NFTs? I'm not sure exactly. It wasn't really clear to me how that works. Like if I wrote and published an article, I'm sure that it would, like the content would be, or the NFT would be owned by me. But if the Token Engineering Academy was kind of like the umbrella group that I'm participating with to do this work, then yeah, I guess how does ownership of the NFTs work? Was another question I had.
Yeah, great question.
And then in general, I didn't find a lot of documentation on the token. They have this cool like flow diagram of the MKT token and how it moves within their ecosystem, this one. But honestly, I don't really follow it without knowing like what price function are and like my coin, what's my coin, things like that. So I'm not, then this is really all that I could find about the token and how it works. So I'm not really sure. I had a bunch of questions on yeah, where does the value come from? So the value that's eventually piped back down this infrastructure, where does it come from? The tokenomics of MKT, what's the trigger for value to flow down these pipes? So we keep saying like, you know, the content creators would be rewarded by the value created when their content is consumed, but someone reading an article doesn't like, you know, earn them money or earn them tokens from any project. It's the actual work that they would have to do or the research that they would have to do and be compensated for that kind of like triggers the revenue flow into the economy. And then so without that event, how is there already like continuously value flowing through the knowledge infrastructure somehow, or kind of what's the triggering event for value to start flowing?
But this is wrong, or it's also a question to us, isn't it?
Sorry,
what triggered? You've raised a great question. What is triggering the value flows? Very valid. And I think, of course, that's important to understand. Okay, how does what can be triggers on the protocol side for IAM, but then also on our side. The example you've made, okay, somebody reading an article is not maybe is able to trigger, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there's any value token to be distributed. That's the point. For you say, okay, it's work to be done, and this work is going to be paid, and then we have the inflow. This is one option, and there might be another one, like we have for the academy, we have sponsors who pay, like the bootcamp model, who pay per student earning a certificate, for example. So there could be a different inflow.
Yeah, so there could, true. It doesn't have to just
or it can be another model. It can, of course, it also can be the students themselves paying for it, or it can be the commons are offering scholarships. This could be also an inflow. Just on top of my head, and yeah, this needs some more exploration. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Fun research. Cool. Jake, what did you think about the project when you were looking into it?
Well, I just want to say you already asked a lot of my questions, so that makes my life easier. I was going to ask about the Medium article he made, which is great. The roadmap he laid out seems pretty up to date, from what I found. And it seems kind of like being in June that we are actually trying to create the impact attribution protocol specification. And I just wanted to ask him if there's anything more than what we've already covered that he feels should be a part of that. As you know, in the basics of example given, living granular proofs of expertise, reward distribution schemes based on innovative and impactful content. Because like it really, I'm just curious to really pick the brain. Like he may have a lot of those other things already somewhere else noted down. That was going to be my big question, and then just if so, where if anything else with the roadmap, or is it looking good?
Cool. What was it called again? The tech for
impact attribution protocol.
Sweet. Yeah, that was a long article. It's a lot to get through.
Yeah, but that's you already had a lot of my questions, Peter, and then that was my big one.
Cool.
So
yeah, I think what are the tokenomics of the MKT? My question related to this is at what point do we have this handshake between the MKT and funds and reputation? So my mental model at the moment is, okay, we have funds that are denominated in, might be USDC, might be Ether, might be a tech token, it might be a project's token, like at the moment we have this balancer case. So a variety of funds denominated in different tokens. And then we have MKT, and this seems to me, but probably you already have a better understanding, this is rather for accounting and signaling and capturing what's happening with the NFT. Is it?
Yeah,
actually universal reverse, no? It's like Ocean for the bonding curves, like Ocean and data token. It's like how I understood MKT. Because they call it
okay. But so at this point, this would mean, for example, if somebody wants to fund an activity, we have this transfer of then first buying MKT and not having as a virtual layer, right? Is this correct? If it's the same model like Ocean.
Yeah, it was just a thought what could work. Maybe you need to even buy MKT to upload stuff to the marketplace.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a secondary market.
Okay.
What is going there? MKT, right? MyCoin supply goes to MyCoin supply.
Yeah.
MyCoin
actually,
usage.
that might actually be right. If MKT is kind of used as like accounting of the distribution of like the ownership distribution, like Angela was saying. But yeah, questions that we have.
question. Yeah, open question. And then could we build? Next question would be: could we build both the tracking of reputation or impact, and the accounting for monetary value? Could both be built based on MKT and the IAM protocol?
Okay, so does MKT
I would assume yes, because
tracking and monetization, is that what you said?
Yeah, how should I say? Upwards and downwards flows. So I guess this is on the level of a policy for an NFT. So whenever, very, very stupid example, but whenever clicks somebody an article, this is the signal that triggers, okay, there's funds flowing to this NFT owner of the article. And in addition, there's a tracking of impact, because this is also signaling, the more people read it, the more impact this piece of knowledge obviously had. And I guess there's space for defining these policies, and it is quite flexible from my understanding, but yeah, would love to discuss this case.
Cool.
Side note, I'm done spamming the channel now. I don't know, Peter, if you can. I haven't had time to put all the 50 links from the group into one document. A ton of shit. I'm really sorry, but maybe it's useful. I don't know if you can help me to organize. I haven't had time. This group, it's all in this Telegram group, and there's a whole library of like stuff to someone. Not me. I'm just the interdimensional librarian that's done a shit job with the skill forest, but there's loads of stuff in there, and I just spammed everyone. So probably have just collected them all in a document. I'm a dumb, but I'll do it. Or if you,
that's perfect. We have a page even in Notion for Skill Forest, and that would be a perfect place to start consolidating that stuff. And it might be empty already. Oh no.
I mean, does the Skill Forest working group not have like a Notion which could link to?
There's a Telegram. I didn't even know there was a Notion. I haven't updated this group pinned message in a really long time. Z just pulled me in to help to coordinate people, and we've had a few little meetings and hack sessions that started with Manifest presentation, and then Andre's been working on stuff. So yeah, if there's a Notion, awesome. We also have like a Notion with Common Stack. We should probably have a session just to go through our libraries. And even Angela Z mentioned that you were working on collecting his works. I've also been doing a bit of curation. So probably we need team library at some point. But anyhow, if there's a Notion heater that you can share with me or whoever, I can just copy and paste all those links. And so at least they're in one place. And then we can kind of sense make with them what they are.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Love your help. Feel free to put it under CommStack.
And Jess, I'll ping you again. What's the state of this conversation with C, to see where we have, I don't know, overlaps and.
Yeah, I figured on our next sync, I was going to bring it up, and then it'd be a good chance to look at it together, because I haven't even looked at the backlog grooming stuff in some time.
So talk in what sync? What of the many syncs we have?
There's no rush, so just whenever.
Okay, good.
Not the government, not the government one, not the HUD, not the other one.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of work for knowledge facilitators here.
Yes, we need help.
Yeah. Like in general, I think like TC was, like, if you start reading about stuff and need to learn all the vocabulary, like what's a hedge, what's a common,
We're in the wormhole of wormholes, and we need more librarians because we can't even keep up with the fire hose of stuff that's coming out of this ecosystem. If you want to, Phil, there's a place for you.
Yeah. Like from September, I will have more time. Great.
Okay.
No, seriously, message me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think if you could build something like this with IMM, that you have like value flows to people who then do the facilitating, that would be great. One protocol I know is Koi.rocks. I don't know if you heard about this one. They pay attention rewards. So like the more attention like a meme or something gets, the more rewards you get on our roof.
And I wonder how SourceCred relates to that.
Who?
SourceCred. Anybody familiar with SourceCred? I mean, they have been around in the token engineering community for maybe started even before us talking about these topics. And I was just, I just wanted to mention this so that we put it on our list of, okay, here, there's, this might be a related project.
Yeah, SourceCred has something interesting to reward retroactive work. We've been implementing in the TEC. And for example, we're just going to start the first distribution now. But since we have the bot collecting the data for quite a while now, we can do this, that like distribution can happen to people for all of those months of work that weren't rewarded. And that can be adjusted to like each type of contribution. They have a very you can customize a lot how everything is distributed. It's really cool.
Would you say SourceCred is a reputation, a tool for tracking reputation, or is it more contribution, or maybe those are the same thing?
I think it's more contribution, but I mean, contribution builds reputation, so it's hard to separate them.
Okay.
Yeah, but then it should be on our list, shouldn't it, to explore?
Yeah, I'm thinking like maybe this is all just part of between the IAM protocol, the Skill Forest, SourceCred. These are all like they all kind of fall under the umbrella of reputation and contribution, and they just get at it from different language or different angles. Like you have actual digital content, you have completed courses, and you have like contributed time. So those are kind of three different types of contributions, or so maybe we do need to like zoom out a little bit, but then we're trying to do an MVP here, so
I think praise also taps into reputation because of the acknowledgement of a contribution.
I would put them all on this list and add links here. For me, it's like, okay, we are working on both ends. We are trying to understand the solutions that are already there and their roadmap. So is this taking a direction that might be useful for us? And then coming from the other side, this is what we envision for the value flows. And then at some point, map it and see what's the best tool, or what's the best combination of tool to create this MVP.
Yeah. And we're not the only ones working on reputation, obviously. So there's a lot of work I think that we can leverage, and hopefully, I think that should be one of the goals, is not like trying to take on solving a massive problem that's duplicate efforts within, especially if it's within the TEC already.
I was thinking too, like, yeah, I mean, there's so much to take on, and it is a wormhole to be going into, like, and then ID and reputation, and there's people working on huge complex solutions. But I think it would be incredibly valuable to have a basic MVP token engineering skill tree. And I don't think it would be crazy hard. And I think it's part of helping us in the curation process. So it's kind of high leverage in that we can do 2 for 1 and curating a bit of the backlog and identifying some of the key work and content around the field. Even if it's like viewing the crypto economic flower, or maybe there's some graphics as well. Like, and Z said it's pretty easy to create this like metadata tags with links embedded in them, with like a graphic or a course link or just a link. So yeah, and I'm sure if we're doing this kind of stuff, he'd be happy to jump in if we wanted his input, but I think it's fairly straightforward, and this would be highly valuable, and I think it would be quick work rather than trying to build like some whole system. I think this is kind of like most needed. I don't know, I won't speak on behalf of the whole TE community, but it seems like this could be very valuable for not as much input.
Yeah, I mean, I fully agree that we need to cut down what we are building to an MVP. So what are we looking for, and how to make this a reality with really low effort to have a next step, and also insights, this visibility of value flows. The only thing that I'm aiming for with TE Academies, integrate real value flows. So this seems like, okay, it's about linking knowledge to each other, just what you've been talking about, which is great. What I would love to add with TE Academy is actual value in terms of compensation.
Yeah, I think that's basically like the goal of the MVP, is to get value flowing, real value flowing, and whatever infrastructure is needed to make that happen, then that's what we should go after.
And I think it'd be great. I can ask Matt Stevenson. He's a new engineer with Block Science. He actually has been working on this. And I think he's the one, he works with Planck, and they sold the first like open science NFT. They made an NFT of some data science project and sold it for 20 grand. That's him. And he's a super genius with NFTs, and he's a wizard. And he actually is an incredible communicator. And I think he would have a great idea for some solutions around this for like an MVP, and would definitely be interested. So I will grab his contact information and give it to you, Peter, and Angela, or I don't know, I guess I'll drop it to you all, and then you can, I'll also mention to him that there's some work going on in this arena. I'm sure he would love to chat about
it. That would be awesome. We have been in touch quickly on Twitter, and I thought, okay, let's wait until we have a better picture of what we are aiming for. But I definitely would be keen to have a conversation with him.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll send you his email. I only have him in Slack.
Okay.
What was his name? Sorry.
Matt Stevenson. Yeah, he runs or Planck, Planck, and he works now with Block Science.
Okay, cool. So we are at the top of the hour already. I guess for Monday, we have, I think, a pretty good start of questions to start the conversation with Tanner. And then if anybody who hasn't had a chance to dig into the Medium article or otherwise, definitely do so. You can jump in with questions too. And then as for next week, I don't really know what should be like the goal for next week, contributing to the Miro board maybe a bit, but I feel like out of Monday's conversation, we're going to have some more ideas on where to spend time.
Sure.
So it's hard to say.
I would love to suggest a subtask. Perhaps somebody's up to working with me in parallel on that one. This is, and maybe we can also, we'll find time. This is just having a first draft of the value flows, because I feel, okay, we are talking about reputation, about money, about funds, about compensation, all in parallel, and it would be cool to have this mapped out. It must be a fully fledged stock and flow at this point, but just having a conceptual model of what this could be for TE fundamentals. And in parallel, you might want to do the same for the service part. And whoever would be interested to do that, ping me and we'll map this out. And I'm not 100% sure if we'll have it ready next Friday, but this is definitely a subtask.
Cool. Yeah, I would love to chip in on that.
Okay. So should we make Friday a work session, or should we make Friday an alignment?
I think Friday should be an alignment session, and then we maybe book 1 hour, just because it's already end of the week, and and then maybe we book an hour during the week to work on the value flows that you're talking about. And does anybody else have a topic that they would like to spend time digging into? Maybe the Miro board, if anybody is planning to spend an hour or so on that, then we can schedule time, and whoever's free will jump in and do a working session, or other topics. Otherwise, we can see what comes out of the conversation on Monday, if there's any topics from that we'd want to hack away at before aligning again on Friday.
Sounds good. Sounds good. In the calendar, there's Monday. It's the content workshop. Or which one?
Oh yeah, Angela, I think you own that invite.
Oh, wait.
Also something the total engineering calendar.
I don't think there's anything on
I
the
just
TE.
need to check. Okay. I'll make sure to share it with you guys. It's on Monday, 21st, 8 p.m.
Yep.
Central European.
Yeah, I see it.
Tana sent it. Okay.
Cool. So we'll get everyone in here invited.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool. Thanks.
Great. Thanks,
Great.
everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See ya.
See everyone.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.